barrel.
Jim, you require 60.
At least they're not odd, the flights.
Speaking of which,
Game shot on
one
the
white flight
first
for a
leg.
single, one
Jim
red flight
Long.
for a double. It works for Jim in a leg that he should have lost. He's only got one route left there.
Jim, you require 3.
As they say in Canada. 1-1-1 here.
Game
And
shot
it is route
and the
one.
match. Jim Long.
And an A+ performance, you'd have to say, because it's 88.41, the exact average that he had when he won a final yesterday. Talk about robotic darts. You're getting it from Jim Long, but isn't that impressive? 50% in his first game. Maybe that's one of the reasons why he is the favourite to win this group. When we come back, we'll see Rennie Adams, former weekly champion here, up against debutant from Latvia, Dmitry Zhukov.
Rennie,
Match
you
in the
require
session.
90.
I saw a lot of bullseye first on 90 at the end
Game
of
shot
last
on the
week, but
first
bull
leg.
last
Rennie Adams.
is the right way for Rennie.
Rennie, you
How
require
many darts does he have to win
119.
this now? Was that 5?
He's thrown 19. If you consider that he was on
59.
double 2
Dmitry, you require 8.
after 13 darts, there's nothing wrong with the scoring. We've had 4 180s in this game. It's purely about the outer ring.
Game
he does get double
shot
2 this
and
time.
the match. Dmitry
That's a
Zhukov.
remarkable 39 darts a double in that first match of the week. With these two playing each other, I am sure they may have a little less than that when they play each other in game 14 tomorrow. But for now, the Latvian gets a win on debut here in game 2 by 4 legs to 2.
Back in my
Connor, you
era, he'd all be
require 100.
regarded as top quality with that kind of average, but it's such a deep pool of great youth players now.
Game shot on the
And that
first
is,
leg.
well,
Connor Hopkins.
very tidy. 100 finish, 15 dart break of throw in leg 1.
I like what I see. Debut win for Connor, like it was
Connor, you require
Dmitry Zhukov.
36.
in the previous match. It is a
Game
debut
shot
win for
and the
Connor
match.
Hopkins.
Connor Hopkins.
Very impressive. And you just get the feeling as well that when he starts to calm down, because he will have felt a little bit nervous in that game, I think there's a better level of performance in him as well. Early on, his doubles were good. He missed a few in legs after that, but it is an initial win for Connor. He gets his first 2 points here in round 1. Let's see what round 2 brings, as we've got the Cube up against Jim Long after this.
Jim, you
I
require
do beg your
56.
pardon. Once in 2020, once in 2022, in different places throughout North America.
Game shot on the second leg.
And he doesn't lose
Jim
legs here.
Long.
6, but that might change.
It would be the highest finish of the day so far.
82.
Because he wanted to leave double 12 again.
Renee, you require 36.
For Jim Long to lose his first leg of the day. Double 9. Oh dear.
27.
That is a tale of what happened
Jim, you
in
require
game 1 as well.
24.
Double 6. He doesn't
Game
mess around in
shot
double 6.
and the match.
And that's
Jim
8-0
Long.
for the first 2 games here for Jim Long. It's all gone very well, hasn't it? So he's top of the table on 4 points with a perfect leg difference, and he's taking his water with him. There's water in the back room, Jim. Well, he doesn't average 88.41 this time, but he'll take 84.68. We'll take a break now, and when we come back, it will be another chance for Victor Tingström to get his first 2 points here up against Connor Hopkins.
Yeah, and
Victor, you
Victor has
require
an
40.
opportunity to put right the 4-0 defeat to Jim Long.
Game
And he
shot
reverses that
and
with
the
a
match.
4-0
Victor
win
Tingström.
over Connor Hopkins. Connor averaged just 71.91 there. 84.68 for Victor. Very tidy and a massive improvement on his opening match performance. 180 apiece in there. 4 out of 12 on the doubles. Connor reduced just to 2 darts at a double in the whole match. When we come back, it's Dmitry taking on Oscar.
This debut campaign so far for Dmitry is concerned, nothing's going wrong.
Game
keeps
shot on
winning
the
legs.
third leg.
3-0 up.
Dmitry Zhukovs.
Even if he wins 4-0, he's not going to be top of the table. But he will be very close to Jim Long's position.
It's got to be uber aggressive, haven't you, on dart 1? Oh, that's a perfect opening dart. Double 8.
And he gets the job done a lot quicker this time.
Dmitry Zhukovs.
It's not a classic performance, averaging 79, but all you got to do is beat the person in front of you. And that's encouraging for Dmitry, because in that game, he was better on the doubles. 4 hits from 9 is a lot better than 4 from 22, which was his previous effort. So improvement in that part of his game means that when he comes back for round 3 against Victor Tingstrom, that might be a bit of a dust-up. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, Jim Long will try to keep his perfect run going against Connor Hopkins.
He gets a go. Was very efficient over the weekend in this department.
Game shot on the
And
second leg.
continues
Jim
here. He
Long.
backs up the 13 with a 17, so a mean average of 15 gives him a overall
Third leg, it's
average
Jim
of
to throw first. Game
100.20.
Yeah, plus 36 is at risk, and I'm talking about that at 11.34.
Game shot on the
it's a
fourth
great
leg.
shot from Connor.
Connor Hopkins.
First leg that Jim has lost all day.
Jim, you require 41.
And our first 100 average, or very close to it.
Game
Well,
shot
if Jim Long
and the
was going
match.
to play for a
Jim
football
Long.
team, he'd be 4 for Athletic. So 4-1 he will take. He's only lost 1 leg in his first 3 matches. 4 from 4 it is. And we didn't see 1 dart missed a double in that entire contest, and you do not see that very often. 100.2, and that is even 15 darters for that contest for Jim. A wonderful display, and he will be very hard to stop in the final 2 rounds of matches. But before we get there, it's going to be Oscar Lukasiak against Rene Idams towards the other end of the table.
And Jim takes on Dmitry.
How many times today have we seen somebody
No
going
score.
for double 12 because they've missed double
Rene
16
requires
into the single
78.
8?
Yeah, and that again was a mile away, wasn't it? Well, this could be a
Game
hold,
shot on
it
the
is,
first
but will
leg.
very much
Rene
feel like a
Idams.
break of throat. He was never really in the leg.
Trying to
Rene
do in my
requires
life.
74.
Northern Lights.
Yes, but a certain way.
Game shot on the second
And the
leg.
Northern Lights do have a
Rene
bit of green
Idams.
in them. And Rene Idams has got a 2-0 lead against the Swede. Have you seen those domes
Third leg, 1.
That was
Rene
really
requires
inviting
160.
for a second treble? But he doesn't get to a finish. A finish Idams has.
Game
and
shot on the
completes.
third leg.
A wonderful
Rene
shot.
Idams.
Biggest finish of the day. It might even be the finish of the group to stop the match from being only 4 legs.
So it's going to be 1 dart at tops to save it.
Game
Oh,
shot on
and
the
he does
fourth
find it
leg.
this time.
Oscar Lukasiak.
Still on a knife edge. Idams throughout this game has had the better average the whole time. But that is predominantly because of what he did in the first 3
Rene
legs.
required 117.
Treble 19 needed.
57.
Now he could
Oscar,
realistically
you
lose
require
this game from being
41.
3-0 up. Double 16 for Oscar.
Game
He doesn't
shot
get an Oscar,
and the match.
But he does
Oscar
get the Nobel Prize
Lukasiak.
for comebacks. That is a 4-3 win for the Swede. When he was 3-0 down, he was in so much trouble. But ultimately, he stayed strong, and he gets his first 2 points of this Group A campaign. Rene Idams will have to wait for his. When we come back, Victor Tingstrom will now take on Dmitry Zhukov. Doesn't want it again. He wanted it with the first dart. 2 of those will be good.
80.
Good try.
Victor, you
He did it
require
a little
68.
earlier on a double out on the double 18. He hit the first one but couldn't follow. 36 for 32.
Game shot on the second
No
leg.
problem there for
Victor
Victor.
Tingstrom.
Time
Victor,
today,
you
Dimitri
require
is showing
60.
signs of frustration. Double top. Just sandwich it in the middle. A nice little smorgasbord shot.
Game
Just
shot
like
on the
that.
third leg.
And you're
Victor
right.
Tingstrom.
Victor, that is a double top to give you a 3-0 lead. And guess where smorgasbord is from?
Is a toughie. 2 days of play, and only the top two go through. And another dart a mile away from double 12.
Game shot on
this
the
time.
fourth leg.
Saves the match and does a
Dmitry
very good job.
Zukov.
Victor will be back at tops, and he's found the 54.
Game shot on
And
the
the
fifth
32.
leg.
This
Dmitry
game
Zukov.
continues. Double 12.
Game shot.
Very well done.
And the match.
Because
Victor
you saw what happened to
Tingstrom.
Idams in the previous match. He let his 3-0 lead slip and ultimately let his opponent in. Oh, he's been talking to Dennis Nielsen looking at the lens like that, hasn't he? The Swede does get the win in game number 9, and after 3 rounds of play, Jim Long is at the top of the table on 6, but he's got Zukovs and Tingstrom just behind him on 4 points. But in this game, it's Victor who wins it by 4 legs to 2. A good start
Rene
from Rene.
require 81.
Double 16.
Game shot on the first
$12.
leg.
And
Rene
a break of
Idams.
throw. You can't start much better than that. Double 10. He's not going to go for double 5.
Game
But he is going to find
shot
double 4.
And the match.
First 2
Rene
points of the day
Idams.
for the Cube. It's been a really tumultuous day for him. His first 4 games have been so up and down, but that's a bit of up for him as he averages 83.23. And look at how many darts at double he missed. He's getting so many opportunities, and he probably should have more than 2 points at this stage, but he'll have to settle for that anyway. Dmitry Zukov of Latvia will take on Jim Long in the next game. Can Dmitry stop Jim? That's the big question.
68.
Dimitri's got the impetus in this one, and the darts, potentially in the last leg if he needs it. Double 4.
Game shot on the
And a
fifth
3-2
leg.
lead.
Dmitry Zukov.
And if it goes to the decider, which is looking highly likely, Dmitry will have advantage of throw. And
Game
we do
shot on
go
the sixth leg.
to a
Jim
deciding
Long.
leg as Jim holds him 15.
It is the bull,
60.
but he misses a match dart, and that could be fatal.
Jim, you requires
Jim Long.
78.
50% on doubles, and if he gets the treble 18, watch out.
Tops to win it.
Game
Tops he
shot
gets, and
and the
Jim
match.
Long
Jim
refuses
Long.
to not win a match today. Wins this one 4-3. The most legs he's dropped, but he did have to come through a match darts by Dmitry, who ends with an average of 89.19, his highest average of the day, and 94.94. Rock solid from Jim Long. Couple of 180s in there. Finishing was outstanding, and that was the difference between the two. 4 from 7 for Jim Long, 3 from 12 for Dmitry. When we come back, Oscar faces off against Victor.
Fabulous underwear. Oh, what a dart that is for double 17.
Game shot on the third
Such a
leg.
brilliant
Oscar
route. He maybe got an
Lukasiak.
assist from dart 1, but that really was very clever from Oscar.
100. Victor, you requires 71.
If he misses this, he's susceptible.
Game shot on the sixth leg.
Sorry, I was saying-
Victor Tingstrom. Oscar, you require
I've just got
36.
the feeling that he really respects Oscar Lukasiak, and that beating him here might have meant an awful lot to him. Does he have to wait until tomorrow to get a crack at that victory?
Game
Yes, he
shot
has to
and
wait.
the match. Oscar
And they've both got
Lukasiak.
4 points after 4 rounds of play. It's still all hugs around on that stage, but Victor did have his chance, didn't he? He just couldn't take it. After taking that 2-0 lead, it was Oscar who showed he had a bit more mettle. When we come back after this short break, it will be Latvia versus Connor Hopkins. And as you can see from that previous match, it was very, very close in a lot of different quarters. with it. I think it's
Dimitri
great.
required
But
134.
I'm still worried about that third dark walk. Oh, okay. Double 10.
Game shot on the
Very
third
nice.
lay. Dmitry Zukov.
That's one way to do it. Usually when you get the treble 18 to start, it's because you're going to go tops, but he
Yeah,
knew
cool.
exactly
It's
what he
Connor
was
to
doing.
throw. Dmitry required 52.
Double 16. And he
Game
does get the
shot,
job done by
and
4
the
legs to
match,
1.
Dmitry Zukov.
Just a little bit sharper on that double 16 on this occasion, and he needed to be because of how he went for 73 left with 2 darts in the previous visit. As for the day, Dmitry will leave us with 6 points on the table and a leg difference of +6. That was his performance of the day statistically as well. He should be very proud of his debut day, as should Connor. I'm sure he's learned an awful lot. When we come back, Rene Idams will be looking to get more points against Victor Tingström. More match starts for
Victor
Tingström.
required 40. Game
That
shot,
is a wonderful
and the
ting.
match, Victor Tingström.
An absolutely brilliant display there from Victor. That was vicious in its nature, averaging over 96. And what are we seeing today in Group A? We're seeing debutants have their best campaign towards the end. We saw it from Victor, we saw it from Dmitry. What are we going to see from Jim Long? Is it going to be 10 points for the day? To find out, join us after this break. Oscar 87 sounds like a policeman's badge.
Ooh, double 18.
Game shot on the first lay. Oscar Lukasiak, 96.
Of the wire away. Now, this would hurt. This would psychologically be a crusher.
Game shot on the second
Wow.
lay. Jim Long.
Not gentlemanly behaviour there.
Oh, treble 14 for double 10. And that's
Game
why he's
shot on the
left the
sixth
double
lay.
10.
Oscar Lukasiak.
And Oscar takes us all the way to finish off a very, very good performance.
57. Oscar, you require 95.
Has options, should go ball. He's going to go 57. Double 19.
Game
And double
shot,
19
and
is
the
found,
match,
and the
Oscar
unbeaten-
Lukasiak.
Unbeaten run of Jim Long comes against Oscar, who started off with, oh, he had a disaster in the early stages. There are the numbers, 93.25 for Jim Long, 91.58 for Oscar. The only 180 in the leg came in the last leg. But look at the 140 tally. But that is countered by the 4 out of 5 on the outer ring. 80% on doubles for Oscar. And it is Jim Long who tops the table despite that defeat. But there is a chasing pack in Dmitry, Victor and Oscar, all on 6 points. Rene Idams and Connor Hopkins both picking up 1 win for today. And let's have a bit of a roundup with Chris and Paul. They're on the stage.
Yeah, thanks very much, Chris. First of all, let's just have a recap of the results today that have happened so far. And it makes pretty good reading for a certain Jim Long, despite that last defeat there to Oscar Lukasiak in the final match. In fact, we'll do that with Jim's company because he has kindly stayed on stage to talk to us after that. Look, we'll start at the end. Not the perfect day, but just talk us through that final match. Good performance from Oscar.
Well, you know, yeah, it would have been real nice if he'd have just given me one more try there, you know, but he had a nice finish, and actually he played really well that whole match, so it was good. And I just, like I was made a joke with Paul. My doubles were bad that last leg, last match.
We will get a look at the results now. Paul, just cast your eye over these. Look, Jim's obviously the player to talk about, but who else leaves with that good credit and good hope for trying to win this group?
I think you've got a few players in this group today who are saying, I got more points out of this day than I thought I would early on. We looked at what Jim was doing early by destroying people, winning 12 legs out of 13 in the first 3 rounds. But then people started to turn up after that. And now you look at people like Oscar, especially winning that last match, with very different eyes.
Yeah, Jim, he's just mentioned it there, Paul. The way you started today, that must have given you a good feeling for the rest of the day and maybe the week.
Yeah, you know, I know that it's timing, and you have to take your breaks when you get them. And I know that I had a couple opportunities that maybe I shouldn't have had at the beginning. So yeah, I know that it kind of evens out. So I just try to play. I felt like I was fighting myself all day. I didn't feel real sharp at all.
That's interesting, Paul, because we're just seeing some of the winning moments, and he looked pretty sharp, didn't he?
Yeah, looked pretty good to me.
Yeah, I honestly, I felt like I was trying too hard. I know the last time I was here, I had like a really, really good doubling finishing percentage, and so it was on my mind today, and I don't know why it was.
Is it any way the fact that you were made favourite, you were actually made an odds-on favourite, did that play into it, or did you feel any pressure?
Absolutely not. I didn't realize that until you just said it, so I had no idea.
He certainly lived up to that billing, though, hasn't he?
Very much so. We talked a lot at the start of the show about Jim's experience of winning a Group A in the past. My only question to you, Jim, was how are you feeling this morning after what was quite a taxing weekend at the World Seniors, obviously winning yesterday in a really good final?
Yeah, last time I came here, I had a short Sunday. I had a good Saturday and a short Sunday, and we got an Uber down here. This time it was the other way around, and there was no Uber, so it was difficulty getting down here, actually. And it cost me an arm and a leg with a cab company. So, but anyways, yeah, I'm not sleeping great anyways, and I don't know if the time is not fixing me yet. I don't know what it is, but I'm having a great time, and everybody is quality in that back room, even though, you know, a few guys started slow today.
We have seen quite a few players come over from North America and make an impact here, the likes of Leonard Gates. Jacob Taylor made a final of an entire series as well.
Yep.
What's the scene like over in Canada and the USA at the moment?
Well, obviously the CDC is the thing to play in North America, and there's like tournaments every weekend. It's a busy schedule, lots of competitive darts, lots of fun darts. But if you want to play the heavy competitive stuff, it's a championship dart circuit, and so many great players. Like, there's great players who don't even play, you know. And if the country's just so big,
yeah,
you know, you've been. Actually, I don't know if you know, but you and I played each other in a blind draw on a Friday night in London, Ontario.
Oh, who won? Who won? We need to know.
Oh, he
this.
did.
Well, it must have been a while ago.
It was 2009 or 10
Sounds
or 11
about right.
or
I was
something.
pretty good back in 2009.
Paul's favourite thing about darts over there, of course, is the tournament titles. Paul, what's your favourite?
I like the Choo Choo Classic.
Oh, that's definitely Nashville. I've never been to that one. Never been to that one. I'm just starting to travel now, to be honest. Yeah. So.
Well, you're doing pretty good at this one, the Super Series. We're going to take a look at the league table and show you how well, in fact, you are doing. You take a 2-point lead into Tuesday. Look, you know how it works. 3 days. It's not won in 1 day, but you must be feeling pretty confident that you can maintain that position.
Well, I would have felt a lot better if you wouldn't have taken out that 95 and I'd have had a shot at that last one. But yeah, you know, I feel pretty good about it. But I know also that guys who I feel like everybody played pretty good against me today. I do. I feel like everybody played pretty good against me today. So.
I'll ask you both, actually. What does it take to win Group A? You've done it before, and Paul, you've been here plenty of times to see it.
You got to be lucky, really. I mean, you're playing 15 games, alternating starts, and when some guys are real hot the round before you, and sometimes they're real hot when they play you, and you just play it. And know it's a round robin, and know that however you finish this 3 days, you know you're still playing.
Get the distance, keep the distance. Jim's got the distance now. I know he didn't get the 4-point gap that he wanted at the end of play, but the good thing is that you get to play Oscar in the very first game tomorrow. So if you start hot again, you can widen that distance over the course of Tuesday and make it very difficult for the rest of them on Wednesday.
Absolutely. Jim, thank you for talking to us. It's been a pleasure watching you today. Well done. Paul, we will see you again tomorrow, as we will Jim Long, who leads the league table after day one. In fact, day one belonged to Long. We'll see you tomorrow.